We're starting with the southern part of the appellation. We're starting with a vineyard where you have a lot of limestone and silica. The schists are the subsoil, and you have the limestone and the silica on the surface, making that La Mouline will always appear as the softer, as the more delicate, as the nicer when young of the three. There is a significant percentage of viognier in La Mouline. We're talking about 11% viognier in La Mouline. And you have this unique shape in Côte-Rôtie, which is a Roman amphitheater shape. Outside the fact that it's really beautiful, it's interesting to understand that we are approaching all the exposures in Côte-Rôtie from south to southeast. Okay, so it's very interesting to have this phenomenon. La Mouline is the oldest vineyard in the entire Côte-Rôtie appellation. So we're talking about 90 years old in average. And we are very proud to show vines to our visitors that have been planted in 1893. That is to say, the first replantation straight after the Philippe crisis. And we're talking about vines that are on American rootstocks, of course. So they are the very first replantings. Trade is a bad news. So it's a bad news for Michael and for ourselves and for everybody. People talk about these wines, but they rarely talk about the production of these wines. So La Mouline is 1 hectare, and if everything goes well, which was the case in 2009, we have a production of about 5,000 bottles of La Mouline. So it is a very, very small. On case, I don't even know in cases what it can give. I prefer bottle than case because it looks bigger in bottles. People wonder how we sell these wines. And we had a very strong idea 20 years ago. Rather than, and I wouldn't give any comment, selecting our customers through the price, which is a very logical way, but which is not our way of thinking, we decided that we would allocate these wines according to who we wanted to sell this wine to. And who do we want to sell these wines to? To our best customers. Who are our best customers? The one that buy wines outside La Mouline, La Turque, and La London. And we're ending with an allocation system which says that the US, being our first export market, the biggest allocation of single vineyards goes to the US.
Are you still co-fermented with the Syrah? It's a field blend?
Yes, it's a field blend, so the co-fermentation is extremely important, simply because if it were not fermented together, I would produce a white wine from Côte-Rôtie, and it's not very popular right now. And also because there's a technical phenomenon, which is the fact that, believe it or not, with 11% viognier, you could expect a slightly small dilution of the color, which is something we never see. That is to say, despite the percentage of viognier, I cannot say that the color is diluted, the tannins are diluted. It's just adding, I think, a very interesting aromatic complexity and probably some fatness and softness in the mouth.
Does the viognier and Syrah parallel each other in terms of quality vineyard year to year?
So they are definitely picked at the same time. To be very honest with you, when we do the sampling in the vineyards, we pick the Syrah only. But by pure curiosity, during many years, we've also sampled some viognier. And I used to say that if the Syrah is picked at its best, the viognier is over its best. That is to say, it's slightly overripe. So if we pick Syrah around 13, 13.5, the viognier will be around 15. So slightly higher than what we would pick in Country, for example. It's part of the complexity.